Sports for Real with Coach Hall. While the Lakers were being swept on Monday night, Fox Sports analysts were posed with a question. The question was, would you rather be swept or lose a heartbreaking Game 7 buzzer beater? Taylor immediately said she'd rather go Game 7. But when Acho was asked the same question, he came back with a different take. His quote was, "It is good to have never loved than to have loved and lost." Then he later said, "Don't let me taste victory." Basically what he's saying is, if I'm going to die, let me hurry up and go ahead and get it over with. Don't extend it out as long as possible. People looked at him like he was crazy. But let me give you a little twist to the situation, and then I'll give you what I think about that. A couple years ago, I had the experience of witnessing a loved one go down real slow. You run to the hospital, and then the surgeries don't work out, and then you go to hospice, and you're sitting there praying, and you're hoping that there's going to be some kind of turnaround. Meanwhile, you're listening to your loved one suffer. So as you sit there, on your particular time that you're there, because you got 24-hour coverage in my family, you can't do nothing about it. And you sitting there listening to all the sounds and pain and heartbreak that your relative is going through. You can't do anything about that. So the problem is, the question I should say is it better that your loved ones suffer and extend out as long as possible? Or do you want your relatives to go quick and they don't have to suffer in the process? Now, the one good thing about having a loved one go slow is that you have a chance to say goodbye. But even then, if they're in hospice and they're drugged up and they can't really express the thoughts that they want to express, you can't hear them clearly, is that worth it? I don't think so. So after going through that experience, I think it might just be better if your loved ones went quick so they don't have to endure that pain and suffering as opposed to having it extend out, which is why it's important for you to do what's necessary and foster those relationships that you have with your loved ones to keep them strong just in case something like that does happen quickly. So when it comes to sports, the Lakers, if you want to compare it to somebody going to hospice, they didn't have to go through that. They were clearly outplayed by the Nuggets. They didn't match up with the Nuggets, and they died swiftly. They didn't have to suffer because in the end, the same result was going to be that they were going to die. So going back to what Acho said, he's basically saying, die quick like the Lakers and don't suffer, and you'll be better off. I think I agree with what he had to say. Sports for Real.